What is up and what's going on today, guys? So today we are doing an Apex Legends tier list video. So to start off, we're gonna go from D tier, C tier, B tier, A tier, and S tier. Blake is here to give his opinion. Alright, start off in D tier. I think the only D tier legend as of right now, only two. At the bottom of D tier, Loba. Now,
yeah, I agree with Loba being at the bottom of D tier.
I think
she could be really good. She just needs some reworks, especially with her bracelet.
She needs some reworks. Her passive is good. Her tactical is... it's just weak. It feels too weak. You have to walk while using it. You can't cancel it. Her ultimate could be better if she could, you know, have more items to pick up. Maybe 3 or 4 items. And then next up, at the top of D tier, Rampart. Now Rampart,
I agree with that.
Yeah, Rampart doesn't have the best passive. She has a half-second reload, or she has a faster reload time and more ammo in LMGs, which is only for Spitfires and Devotions, which isn't that much. Her walls are pretty much useless unless they have been fully set up and they are fully functioning. Her ultimate is just so situational.
Yeah, the minigun's fun to mess around with. I don't know if Adam made that little scene we did into a video.
I definitely
But
did.
It's fun to play with.
It's
but
just
in an actual fight,
so
it's
conditional. It's not useful in most spots. Alright. And next up...
wait, before we move on, what are your suggestions?
Okay, so suggestions to buff Loba.
You should do suggestions.
Yeah, suggestions to buff Loba are... we need to give her make her the ability to run when she's throwing the bracelet, give her the ability to cancel it, and give her either 3 or 4 slots more in her ultimate. For Rampart, I don't know what they could do. Maybe probably have a faster charge time on her ultimate and on her passive. I don't know what to do with her passive though. I honestly don't. They gotta rework her in a way. But now C tier. Bottom of the C tier, Crypto.
Yeah, as someone who got Crypto and played as Crypto can be really cool, but like he is basically a weaker Bloodhound where the drone doesn't provide a ton of advantage because it's super situational. You need to have time to be hunkered down to pull out the drone
and get
over the enemy and use the MP. And you're really vulnerable. I can't say that word.
Vulnerable.
To being shot while that happens.
And also the fact that his passive, until his buff where he is now can survey beacons, until then his passive was just giving the location of enemies within his drone radius to your allies, which Bloodhound's tactical does already.
Yeah.
So to rework him, they just need a full rework on him. Rework his passive and his ultimate. I don't think they buffed his EMP so you can't drop your shield anymore to escape the EMP. Yeah, you used to be able to do that.
Oh yeah, I forgot, yeah.
So I would say next up would be Revenant. Now, Revenant, although he's gotten his buff, he has now 2 charges with his tactical. His ultimate now has unlimited range, and you get more health. But I still think that his passive is just underwhelming. Don't you agree, Blake?
Yeah, his passive is pretty underwhelming.
You get to crouch walk faster, and you climb 50% higher. They need to increase his climbing speed and make it so you can climb 2 or 2.5 stories high. Now, that might make him overpowered, but that's what I think we should do.
He definitely needs a buff.
Next up on C tier is... at the top of C tier, we're going to have Fuse. Now, Fuse, his Knuckle Cluster, is, I would say, the best part about his kit. Knuckle Cluster can be good for causing panic, but other than his holding grenades and being able to shoot them farther, is only good in certain situations. His ultimate's not good. You can just jump over the firewalls without taking any damage. It's not that hard to counter. Now,
I agree.
for buffs, for now to buff Fuse, I would say right now rework his ultimate. Give him a new ultimate completely. I'd say his passive is fine, but I'd say rework his ultimate. Top of C tier, we got the Octane.
All aboard the Octane.
Octane got a huge buff with his jump pad, being able to jump farther now.
Yeah, that double jump is pretty handy.
You not only go farther to start off, but now you can also double jump add on top of that. His passive is so good. The ability to heal health over time. I, right now, wouldn't change anything about Octane. As you know, he is my main, but now we're going on to...
Slight bit of bias there.
Shush, shush. Now we're going to go on to B tier. Bottom of B tier, Caustic. Now, I know we had the Chaos Theory event that just happened, and they wrecked Caustic. They just wrecked him. You can out-heal his gas with syringes now. It's sad. I was debating even putting him in C tier, but with his tacticals, or his passive's good enough for that. His tactical, you can only place down 6 gas bombs. I think they should make it 7 or 8 to make him a little bit better. Rework his ultimate. His ultimate's just... It's not... The only thing is that it... The only thing his ultimate is that you just throw one of his gas canisters farther. That's all it is. I think if they're going to keep it as the Nox gas grenade, they should make it so if you make a direct hit on an enemy, make it do like 15 damage, something like that. But yeah, they just need to... His damage before was maybe a little bit too high, but his damage now is way too low, so they need to do a rework on that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Next up, Lifeline. Lifeline, she is arguably, in my opinion, one of the best passive abilities. The ability to revive without being stuck in revive. But
yeah,
her drone...
If you watch... Give me a second.
Yeah,
if you watch a lot of the Apex videos on the channel, you know how often Cam is there rushing in to put down a lifeline revive. It's very useful.
I think her drone just takes a bit too long to recharge. I think if they're going to buff her tactical... Her passive is perfect. She did get the ability to fast seal taken away, which I think they should maybe add back. Her tactical, I think they should reduce by charging time by between 7 and 5 seconds. And her ultimate, just scrap her ultimate. Make a new ultimate respawn. Her ultimate's not good.
The ultimate needs to be reworked.
And then next is Bangalore. Whoops. Bangalore hasn't changed pretty much at all. She's always been a decent, solid legend, in my opinion. Her smoke can be disorienting, but it makes up for it that you can shoot 2 smokes at the same time. You can also use digital threats to see through them, but your enemies can also have them to counter it. Her passive is... I would do one change to her passive. Up it so you're not only running... You don't only get a speed boost for 2 seconds, but you get it for 4 seconds. And then, also for her passive, I would make it so she doesn't get shell-shocked by other Bangalore and Gibby ultimates. Since she was in the army, I think that this would make sense that she wouldn't get shell-shocked by it. And her ultimate, I think, is good for right now. And next up, I would say at the very tippy top of B tier, is Mirage has got a huge buff. His clones now make footsteps, and indoors, if you pop Mirage's ult in indoors, it's just chaotic. He got 2 upgrades to his passive, where when he gets when he goes to revive, he goes invisible, which I think is a really good buff. And now he also can control his clones so they mimic him. Honestly, right now, I wouldn't change anything about him. What you, Blake?
I agree with that.
Alright, next up, A tier. At the bottom of A tier we're gonna have Watson. Now, Watson had a slight buff to her ultimate. Now, her ultimate's on a timer. So, I found that out the other day. But they also buffed her by giving her 2 ultimate accelerants per 1 slot. Other than that, she's just a solid legend, I think. And then, next up, I will have Horizon. Horizon, now, her passive ability to not, be affected by a fall it's really nice. So when you fall down, you can just start shooting people right away. Her tactical is decent. If I were to upgrade her tactical in any way, I would give it 2 charges instead of just the 1. Where she throws down her gravity lift and you go up. I would give that 2 charges. Now, I would say for her ultimate's pretty good so far. It has its radius is just good enough. So yeah, that's all I would do. Alright, and to finish off the top of A tier, we got Pathfinder. Everyone's favorite robot. Pathfinder has his zipline is really good, and although now you can only jump on zipline a few amount of times, I'd say to rework his tactical, I would put it on a 25-second cooldown. Before it was on a 15-second, really overpowered. Then they put it to 35 seconds, and now they've put it to, it's based on how far you travel, which I think is really dumb. And it's really confusing to use. His passive, he needs more of a rework with his passive. His passive right now is him just being able to scan the next ring. That's his passive right now, and I just think it's underwhelming. Like,
yeah, because he's not the only legend that has the ability to do that. It's super underwhelming.
So,
because Bloodhound and Crypto both have that ability now.
So yeah, I think they need to rework his passive. Now moving on to S tier. At the bottom of S tier, we got Blake's main, Bloodhound.
A boy, Blood Hunter.
Bloodhound is just, after his buff, where you can now scan every 5 seconds when you're using his ultimate, is really overpowered. His tactical, I think, is really good right now, being able to track locations, and now track other people's footsteps, where they got knocked, where someone died, and now he can scan for the next ring. And his tactical was already pretty good. It's fine on cooldown and everything, but his ultimate is just perfect. Don't change anything about Bloodhound.
Yeah, please don't change his ultimate. I love that piece to hunt.
And now our second to last legend, Gibraltar. Now, Gibby may have a huge hitbox, but his arm shield that's basically an extra 50 shield right there. Because people, majority of the time, are going to be shooting for your upper body and your head. And the arm shield is perfect for protecting that. He's always going to win sniper duels. He did get a slight nerf, but it still doesn't change him. He can revive faster in his bubble, which I think another buff to give lifeline
Didn't they remove that nerf? Or didn't they nerf that, I thought?
No. I think another way to help lifeline is when her drone's reviving, give her drone... let's say her drone is reviving somebody, and you want to revive your other teammate. Give her the ability to revive your teammates faster than 1 second faster than normal, like it used to be. But Gibby's ultimate is just perfect. It's good, unlike lifelines. And now, at the top of S tier, everyone else's tier list has her, Wraith. Wraith is just the epitome of a perfect legend. Her tactical, amazing. Voices from the Void. It's really good. Her tactical, although been nerfed a little so you can see her trail, is still really good. It's good for escaping grenade spams, getting out of a situation. Her ultimate is a good way to help teammates get into a fighting position or get out of a fighting position. Overall, I think those 3 are the amazing legends. Don't change anything about them.
You heard that, Respawn?
Exactly. So, and that is going to be it for the video, guys. Thank you for watching this. I will be making a Apex Guns tier list So watch out. That's gonna be coming up soon. And if you wanna see me unlocking Horizon, click right here. If you wanna see me, if you wanna subscribe to my channel, click over
You
there.
mean Watson, not Horizon?
Yeah, sorry. Unlocking Watson, click right here. Unlock, and then if you want to subscribe to my channel, click right over there. It's that simple. And I'll see you in the next one.